Guys, Robert Pattinson's a fraud.
Oh,
he's a
fake.
fraud.
He's a fat phony.
He faked a coronavirus test.
Yeah.
The Batman's in trouble because of him.
He's got no muscles.
Damn it. Okay, so I read the headline. Now, before we dive into this, I really want to do this just because of how ridiculous this sounds. We haven't even dissected the article, and I'm telling you, I don't believe this.
This sounds like a very, very now story.
Sometimes I just like covering a movie news story that just sounds like a fun thing to talk about, even if I already have sold myself that I don't believe. I'll keep an open mind. Let's see what sources are pulled here. Let's see what is unveiled. Maybe there'll be something here to change my skepticism to this ridiculous title.
Get ready to eat some crow.
But come on, let's talk about it. It could be fun. Two sources have come out and stated that there are big problems surrounding the Batman, with claims that Robert Pattinson may have faked the coronavirus and that the actor is butting heads with director Matt Reeves, which is causing massive issues with production. Doomcock of the Overlord DVD YouTube channel. You know it's a good story when it's coming from this guy.
Scoops.
Was the first to claim that the Batman movie is in deep trouble, with Midnight's Edge YouTube channel confirming Doomcock's info through UK director and writer Gary J. Tunnicliffe.
Hey, Gary.
Why that reaction?
He is the head of a makeup effects studio called 2 Hours in the Dark, and I've actually worked with him in the past.
Well, then everything he has to say must
Is
be
true.
Gist of claims that the problems and trouble has to do with Robert Pattinson not wanting to work out, which has led to a big conflict with director Matt Reeves. Oh, really?
He's a big fitness geek.
Feels the stuntman used for filming will look a lot bigger than Pattinson, who was supposed to work out but has chosen not to. Wait a minute, they've already shot. Here's why I don't believe it.
30%.
Here's why I'm already thinking I don't believe this. Because we already got a teaser trailer for it where you see images of Robert Pattinson and stuntman in bat suit. I'm assuming some of those have to be the stuntman, right?
Well,
Seem fine there.
And one would only assume that the stuntman's suit would probably be made out of a slightly different material, and if the actor is not quite the same body type, there are ways to compensate for that, too.
You would think this problem would have arisen then?
Yeah.
Before shooting any of that awesome footage that we got? Regarding Robert Pattinson and the coronavirus, it's claimed to be a cover story to cover that Reeves shut down production in order to give Pattinson time to work out, who refused yet again. Robert Pattinson is such a committed actor with his director. I doubt he would be this adamant about it. The Batman has long been known to be a troubled production, says Doomcock. There have been multiple shutdowns, allegations of coronavirus infections on set, whispers of problems with Robert Pattinson's attitude. In short, productions of the film has been an absolute disaster. The Batman is in deep shit and may even be delayed again with another forced shutdown.
Ooh, it's by Marvel. Marvel's making all this happen.
Marvel's jealous.
Marvel gave Pattinson the coronavirus.
My source alleges that all of that was a lie, that Robert Pattinson being sick was a load of BVS, a cover story to hide the real reason Matthew Reeves wanted to shut the production down. When Pattinson showed up for the first day of shooting, the director took one look at him and lost his shit. Pattinson was supposed to be working out during the John Campia somewhere is having a field day.
What the fuck else are you doing, you asshole?
Pattinson was supposed to be working out during the lockdown delay, and true to his tweet of May 12th, he didn't do shit. The director then decided to shut down the production, and he gave Pattinson 4 weeks to go work out and at least get toned. You have 4 weeks to look like Batman. You got 4 weeks, Pattinson. 4 fucking weeks. Get to it, Pattinson.
You better be in the gym all day, every day, except for when you're eating protein.
Obviously, if Batman is going to be fighting criminals, he has to, at the very least, be fit. Pattinson looks more like a junkie than a guy that rounds them up.
That's just a great quote. I don't care if it's true. It's a good point.
Cut to October 1st. We got some info last night. Pattinson is back, and during his absence, he still refused to work out. The director has thrown up his hands and is just going with it. The two stunt doubles are so much bigger than Pattinson. There's going to be no doubt when he is not in the suit. As Bruce Wayne, he looks like a stick. This could be a one-and-done movie. They have to reshoot all the footage we saw in the teaser trailer. Pattinson is a pain to work with. He whines about the suit. It's hot. It's tight. Yeah, everything we've heard about Pattinson in the past with all the crazy performances he's given, this totally lines up. At this point, the director just wants to get the movie done and move on. This is such a loaded bullshit.
Nah,
Come
man.
on, guys.
He didn't
Such
realize
bullshit.
when he got cast as Bruce Wayne, he has to spend so much time in
God.
this suit, you know?
Don't believe this. This is so funny. I mean, this is funny. This is really funny, but it's a load of crap.
This is awesome.
So, according to the source, someone with direct knowledge of the production, Pattinson has ground director Matt Reeves down. Pattinson looks ridiculous in the role. The stuntmen are much. Where's your buddy? Where's his quote? So it
Yeah,
looks like
Gary,
Batman
get
is
in here.
going to grow and shrink throughout the movie.
Superpower.
Yeah, they can't digital any of this. Reeves knows that this is a problem, but apparently he just wants to get the albatross of a movie off his neck if these rumors are true. They're not, all right? Batman filming may be delayed again. All right, here we go. Hollywood writer and director Gary J. Tunnicliffe confirms the Batman Robert Pattinson rumors. Okay, so an actual credible guy. So he didn't work on this movie, but he's worked on some big movies. So mainly works in makeup and effects, like what Humphrey said.
Yeah, although he has directed some beloved Hellraiser films.
He's written a lot of Hellraiser movies and Hansel and Gretel. Cool. So he's got some credentials, this mofo. All right. So here's what Gary said. All I heard was that there were definitely tensions between Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson. That Pattinson was being quite difficult to work with. The person I had spoken to, they almost suggested that the situation was that, because I said, I heard you shut down due to COVID. And they said, it's not COVID that shut us down. Then I said, oh, is it something else? I said, is it your lead actor? And they were like, maybe.
Oh.
Tunnicliffe also talked about the rumors of Pattinson not wanting to work out. And then, of course, I heard from somebody else that the rumor was that Matt Reeves was visibly shocked at the size of Pattinson and that he was worried that his stunt people were considerably larger than him. So then obviously I looked into it with my sources. The rumor
Call Doomcock.
I saw Doomcock. Can you find out something for me? And the other rumors I saw kind of circulating were that they have an issue about working out, bulking up, and everything else. So Gary went on to explain about, this is nothing new. Downey Jr. with Iron Man, Wesley Snipes with Blade.
Actors cause problems.
If Matt Reeves is having those nasty situations with Pattinson, it can make for very ugly filmmaking. And the stuff I did hear, that was the case, and Matt Reeves just wanted to get the thing finished and get it done and get out of there. This just does not line. I'm sorry to your best friend Gary. This does not line up.
It's okay, man.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. Wouldn't that be illegal to shut down a production, first off, if that's a lie over him getting coronavirus?
I don't
Especially
honestly
since
know.
Warner Brothers put that out. I feel like that would be illegal.
But they lie to us all the time.
But
They
Warner
can say
Brothers
whatever they
put out
want.
an official statement.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't know honestly what the law is about that because it's not false advertising necessarily.
Let's put that to the side.
Okay.
Everything we've heard about Matt Reeves and the history of what we've heard, at least, and the history of Pattinson getting involved, this just doesn't line up with it, especially for Pattinson, who, all puns intended, went to bat to make sure he could become the Batman. He pursued this role. This wasn't just like, hey, you want to do it? Let me think about it. Like he pursued this role. This doesn't line up whatsoever. The fact that there was already this beautiful footage. The Batman's the best trailer all year. And you have plenty of moments with Bruce Wayne and Batman in there. And the footage looked fine. Physically speaking, it looked fine.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing about it where I'm like, there's something jarring about cutting back and forth between bulky Batman and Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne. It seemed perfectly fine. This just seems like a crazy rumor to capitalize on the whole not working out thing. This would have been problematic from day one. This would have been a major problem.
Yeah.
It wasn't like COVID kicked in and he was like, I don't want to work out.
Yeah. It's like if he wasn't down to work out, I feel like that would have started from the very beginning. I feel like that would have been something that he would have. He's too smart and plugged into the current state of movies not to know that he would be expected to at least gain some amount of muscle and be expected to fill that suit.
And
that's why you apply to be Batman.
And I'm sure there's like contractual obligations that he would have to uphold. He'd be looking at a major lawsuit ahead of him. The studios would threaten him if he was this non-compliant. This would be a disaster.
Yeah, it would be. And I mean, I don't know honestly what his actual physical state is, but I can also say that like I think there is something to the idea of not having a Batman who's just like absolutely ripped. Because like when you see him in the suit, I think it actually kind of works that he does look a little scrawny or at least not obviously buff. I'm just very, very fascinated if this is fake. It certainly seems like at least not the truth, not the like God's honest truth. I wonder what's going on, because to fake a coronavirus, like that just sounds like such a ridiculous thing to have to do. There are a million excuses you could use just to pause production. You could even just pause it and not tell us.
Yeah, the most credible part of this would have to be your buddy, your best friend, your loyal lover.
Yeah, I'm standing by him.
Gary J. Tunnicliffe coming in
Sticking
here
by him, and that was a great impression of him.
saying that he spoke with someone.
I spoke with somebody.
This whole thing is just a game of telephone.
It literally is.
The whole thing is just a long game of telephone. He's not saying who he spoke with, Tunnicliffe. He could get that person in trouble.
Pattinson. He spoke to Pattinson.
Whoever he spoke with could just be someone who is not enjoying, who might even just have his own presumption, his or her own presumption. This could just be someone who has their own presumption of like, you know what, I don't believe it. I think we shut down because Robert Pattinson, you know. It could just be that.
Yeah, I mean, a film set is also, a big community, and there's also a game of telephone that happens on a set.
Drama. There's, especially for a Batman set, there's so many people on set.
Yeah, a movie where you're already having so much secrecy and protection around so many of the things that you're shooting that I would imagine that, not everybody does have the full picture at any given moment, except for maybe Matt Reeves. And that's the other thing, is this idea that he would just show up, Robert Pattinson, the first day and have Matt Reeves be shocked at his appearance. I'm like, you guys would have had to have like interacted before this, right?
I mean, Matt Reeves said at DC Fandom they shot like 30 to 35% of the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
So this would have been a problem 30 to 35% ago.
Yeah, and I can't imagine his body type being the issue if his working out during the shutdown is the core start of the problem.
I would believe way more about creative differences versus this.
He seems like he's got a certain temperament as an actor. I mean, for The Devil All the Time, he refused to work with a dialect coach because he wanted to find the voice himself through the accent. I don't know. There are things like that I get that are like, okay, I could see how you would clash with your creatives or whatever, but I don't know. Like, again, like you said, he seemed very invested in wanting to play this role. Maybe there's a bickering about how buff or not he is, but I can't imagine that he's just like, I don't care. I don't give a shit about this. I'm not going to put any professionalism. Like, he seems like he throws himself so heavily into the work that all I could imagine is maybe that's clashing somehow with Matt Reeves's ideal take on the character, but then you're having a different issue that isn't this petty shit that we're talking about right now, where it's like, Pats didn't want to do it, so we faked a corona and shut down so he could work out for 4 weeks.
Well, yeah, exactly.
So you get jacked.
Like, what the hell is he going to get done in 4 weeks?
Like, did he chub up? Is that the problem? Do you need him to like shed some pounds?
You can get results in 4 weeks. I know you can.
But it's not going to take somebody who hasn't worked out at all and turn them into Batman to the point that it's going to fix an entire movie.
All right, guys. Well, do you believe this? Try not to. And if we're wrong, if this comes out later on, like down the line, some point, and they're saying that no, this was all true, and then they have some weird Hollywood roundtable thing, like kind of what Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy recently did for Mad Max, and like, yeah, I just refused. Then all right, I'll be like, wow, I'm surprised, but I was wrong.
You know,
right now I call total bullshit.
The source is Pedro Pascal.
Yeah,
that's who it is. Yeah. He's out there. He's like, I want people to take their attention off of me.
All right, guys. Well, leave your thoughts down below. Subscribe. Click that notification bell. Last but not least, let's do a Lance Doors. Look, buddy, I know you're getting cold feet right now, but dude, trying to postpone this wedding by lying that you have coronavirus is not going to work for you, man.
Yeah, you need to work out for the wedding.
You need to work out. You need to get in shape, all right? If you're expecting your bride-to-be to be super banging, super fit for her wedding dress, you got to stop slacking yourself. Quit using this pandemic as an excuse to not get in shape. All right? No one's buying it. You can't keep shutting down the wedding just because you're being too lazy.
Yeah, you can't show up on the first day of the ceremony only to have your bride-to-be just completely repulsed by your scrawny lack of investment in your love.
I know you guys have already done 30 to 35% of the wedding, but you need to get to the I-dos now.
Yeah, you need to convince us.
So, Lance, quit making excuses. Take more fiber. Poop, man.
Poop, Lance?
Poop your way to
can't hold it all in.
skinniness.
You can't hold it all in.
All right, Lance. We
I
tried.
love you, Lance.
Love you, buddy.
Well,
I hope you're being safe.
You're Batman to me.